Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Hump Day to you. From Friday Night Lights to Saturday afternoon stardom and on to Sunday gridiron greatness. We take our football, obviously, very seriously here. So the upcoming movie Draft Day, starring Kevin Costner, Jennifer Garner, Dennis Leary, and Tom Welling, just to name a few, is highly anticipated, especially here in North Texas. The movie is the story of a struggling professional football team trying to turn things around for a winning season. And joining us is one of the film's stars, Tom Welling. Look at you. Very handsome. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You were wondering what the cannon was outside.
I was confused. But now I see...
Is that the rocket ship that goes into space?
Well, now it's a cannon, so
it's
now
a cannon
it makes
for the
complete
circus.
sense.
I watched the film last night.
Cool.
A really fun film, and for someone, I'll be honest, I know pretty much nothing when it comes to how the NFL works, and especially the draft day. I think I learned something.
Yeah.
How authentic is the movie to the real NFL draft day?
Well, this is the first film in history the NFL has actually ever endorsed. So there was access that the production had to last season's draft day. So you'll see a lot of things that haven't been seen before. And being a part of the film, I learned a lot about just sort of the effect that this day has on these guys and their lives. And everything changes on draft day on every team across the league. It's a really big day.
Give us a quick synopsis of this film.
It's awesome. How's that?
That was quick enough. It features the Cleveland Browns, right? And Kevin Costner plays the general manager.
Yeah,
and he really wants to turn this team around.
Yeah, he wakes up in the morning and his life sort of falls apart, and throughout the day he tries to put the pieces back together, and he finds that, you know, listening to his own heart is really the only way to go. And it's a great film. You don't have to even like football to like this movie.
Yeah, I'm
but
a
if you do, it's
to
even
that.
better.
Right,
yeah.
And I wouldn't consider myself a huge football fan. Loved the movie, I really did. You play Brian Drew. You're the current quarterback for this failing team, but you're really good. How much did you know, do you think, like especially the ins and outs of how football worked?
Well, not all that much. I was able to speak to a couple guys, NFL quarterbacks, but we spoke more about the lifestyle of a quarterback, being on the road, being traded, what it meant every year to sort of have to get your job back again, and those pressures. And for me, that was more important for this character than sort of understanding the game, I think.
The movie features some real-life athletes, Deion Sanders, just to name one. Did you have to talk to some real quarterbacks in life just to get their perspective? Yeah,
Matt Leinart was a big help. We talked a lot about what it was like to be in the NFL as a quarterback. There were some other guys out there who spoke briefly too, but him and I sat down for a few hours, and he was a big help.
The filming of Draft Day, you kind of touched on this, was timed to the real NFL Draft Day. That had to be crazy. Radio City Music Hall?
Yeah, they went out there. I wasn't a part of that, but they went out there and they said that the energy was just electric.
It's insane. Yeah. Was there anything that you learned during all the craziness that is Draft Day?
Yeah, one thing that I learned is, well, there's a football right here. Every NFL quarterback travels with at least 15 custom broken-in footballs that they all have their own footballs.
Really?
And so, yeah, there's something I learned.
And they use those in the game?
Yeah, every quarterback will use balls from his own stock.
That's why so many, though?
Who knows? I don't know.
Because they just need that many.
And it takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to get them ready.
I want to talk about this incredible cast. I was blown away. I knew some of the actors, and then just as the movie went along, it just kept seeing more and more. We're talking really Jennifer Garner, obviously Kevin Costner, Dennis Leary, Frank Langella, Ellen Burstyn, Chadwick Boseman, who actually was on the show when the movie 42 was coming out. It was really fun to see him in a baseball role and now this football role. What was that like for you, first off, to work with such an incredible cast?
Fantastic, especially with Kevin. I mean, I've always just wanted to meet him, and the first time I meet him, I'm working with him and I'm yelling at my character, yelling at him. So
I was going to ask you about that. You had to get really angry at him in one scene.
Yeah, but he was great. We spoke a little bit before the scene, put me at ease, and we just got in there and dove into the work. It was fun. That's
really cool. Out of all of you, who would you say is the biggest football fan?
I don't know. There's a lot of people in the cast I never met because our characters didn't cross. But I think I remember I was surprised to hear that Jennifer Garner was an NFL fan.
Is she in real life? Because she certainly knows her stuff in the movie.
That's what I was told.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and her character is based on a real life woman who actually works for the organization. So she was there too. So there's some women out there who know their stuff.
Okay, tell me if this is true or not. I was reading last night that some of the cast members, you obviously included in this list, have connections to that small world of Superman.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah, there are a couple
we have Kevin Costner, who is in Man of Steel, and then Frank Langella, who was in, which Superman was it?
Which one was he in?
I don't remember. He was in one of the movies,
yeah.
though. And then you obviously playing Clark Kent in Smallville.
Yeah.
What was that? Did you guys ever get together and talk about?
It's funny, it didn't come up. Kevin and I talked more about John F. Kennedy than we did about, I don't know, it just didn't occur to either of us.
About his movie JFK?
He did JFK, and I did a movie called Parkland, which dealt with the assassination as well. So we spoke about that. Looking
at some of your footage now of Smallville, I know you guys still hold the record for the most highly watched debut on the WB network.
Oh, is that right?
Almost 8.5 million viewers.
Oh, awesome.
For your debut on that show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know we still held it.
When you look back at that show, fond memories?
Oh, yeah. That show was great. I learned a lot. 10 years, I mean, hopefully I learned something.
Yeah. Were you hoping to get cast in the new Superman movie?
No, it wasn't even a possibility. What happened was they shot that film while we were still shooting the show, so it couldn't have happened.
Oh, and then tell me if this is true. I read a rumor that at first for Smallville, you didn't even want to audition for this role, and it wasn't until you actually read the script that you were like, okay, I'll do it.
They weren't saying much about what it was, and you can only imagine where your mind would have gone about a TV show about Superman. But then, once the script was available and you read it, it was something very special. And aren't you glad you did it? I am glad.
Hey, really quickly, in the movie, Dennis Leary's character says the people of Dallas are fancy. He's talking about his role working with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Everyone in the theater cracked up for that line.
Yeah.
I know you've only been in Dallas a short time. Are the people here really fancy?
In the best sense of the word, yes.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you stopping in. Draft Day, by the way, opens in theaters April 11th.